A Mixed Media Christmas Card by Karen Burchell, Creative Katie. The techniques used in this card are the salt technique, using Inktense blocks to color iridescent medium, stamping with acrylic paints, embossing, using jelly prints, and outlining. Here's a sneak peek of the Christmas card, but this could be done as a journal page as well. So here you see me taping the Strathmore watercolor card onto the foam core paper, and I just point to the top. I wrote on the board where the fold is placed, so I know for when I'm stamping and I don't have to go back. So I'm getting out my Inktense blocks and I'm picking out some blues and greens and teals. I want the background to look like the background of a Christmas tree or a blue spruce. Spraying water onto the paper and just applying water to the Inktense blocks. I'm dropping in the ink from the blocks. You can use your gelatos, you can use sprays, you can use Neocolor 2s, watercolor crayons, pretty much any color medium that you have for the salt technique. You want it fairly wet, and I'm trying to get the colors to blend a little bit because I like the magic that happens when the colors take over. So now I'm sprinkling some sea salt onto the wet surface. Now by this time this is the kind of the last dredges of my sea salt in my container, so it's very fine, more like table salt. Getting out my jelly prints and just using a circle template, I'm cutting a couple different sizes for Christmas balls. There's my Artist Loft iridescent medium, and I'm going to use the Inktense blocks to color it. I want green, and I'm going to use my stamping block from Stampendous to do that. And I'm thinking initially that I'm going to wet the color green, and I figure it'll be much faster if I grate. So I get out my grater, my fine grater that I use for this purpose, and I'm just mixing in the amount of color till I get the color that I like. So there's my Stampendous block. This is Foliage Cube, and I'm just applying the green iridescent medium onto the stamp with a makeup sponge and stamping it onto the background of the card. I wanted to add texture. I wanted to add some shimmer with the iridescence, and I wanted to add green. I wanted it to look like Christmas tree. So as you can see, there's lots of texture there, and I wish you could feel, I wish YouTube would allow you to feel the texture that's there. And I'm just making sure that this is dry. So getting out my jelly prints and just selecting 3 circles in the sizes. And I position it on the card where I want the balls to be. So I have this, it's from a Penny Black clear stamp set. And I'm placing it at the top, so it's kind of like a bow that everything is going to be hanging from. And I'm going to use my white embossing powder. This is extra fine. Sprinkle it on, shake off the excess onto a paper, use the brush to get rid of any. And now I'm using my embossing pen. I missed a little bit up the top, so I just wanted to fill that in. So that's what you saw me doing just now. So again, I have cut out way more circles than I want. I want to see which ones just strike my fancy. So I'm embossing. And I'm thinking maybe I want something, this jelly print caught my eye, so I'm thinking, you know, which ones do I want? I was thinking of adding some extra stamps onto the jelly prints, but I chose not to. Here I'm just applying golden gel medium underneath and on top of the circles that are going to be Christmas ornaments. This card will go vertically, stand vertically instead of horizontally. So I've gotten my Stabilo all pencil, black, and I'm outlining and taking a little bit of water and a watercolor brush. I am just activating it to smudge and spread a little bit just to make the balls pop and give them some distinction. Using my micron pen, I'm adding strings to the swoop above, and I'm just drawing in the metallic, the top of the ball, a rectangle with lines. I was going to paint it gold, but I thought I have enough shimmer going on this page. Little bows, signing the card, because even though it's a card, it is a work of art. Now I'm trying to decide if I want to put a sentiment on, and I decide not to. But I decide that I'm going to put a sentiment on the inside. This just says Merry Christmas, and it has a dangling ornament. I'm using some embossing powder from the Recollections brand, which is the Michaels brand. Putting it back into the container and using the heat tool. I apologize for being mostly off. And I'm using some blue and teal, blue and green distress ink with a blending tool just to add a little bit around the edge to match with the front of the card. The blue was too blue and the green was too green, so there's a close-up and you can see some of the texture and the shimmer from the iridescent medium. Another Christmas ball made from my jelly print. Sure to visit my blog at www.creativekatie.wordpress.com. There will be other Christmas cards listed there that are special for my blog visitors. Thank you for watching. Be sure to subscribe.